Welcome to a special edition of It's All Relative. I'm Josh, and today I'm bringing back two familiar voices to the show. We'll talk a little Halloween and then discuss a Hollywood game that is claimed to be being played that includes the powerful elite of Hollywood, bettors, and pawns. So turn it up and let's get rolling with an all-new episode right here on the It's All Relative podcast. So a little different today. Sarah is not here. She's got some upcoming life changes and decisions that she is trying to focus on. So hopefully she'll be back with us sometime in November. But joining me today, first, welcome back Angela Galente.
Thank you.
And second, Travis Lake.
Thank you.
All right. So how have you both been since the last time you were here? Angela.
It's been great.
Been great?
Yep.
You been good?
I've been good. Life's decent. It's nothing to brag about, but knock on wood, no pitfalls.
Right on.
So I feel good.
Good. Travis, anything new? What's up with you, man?
I've been dealing with some things, but it looks like it's going to be okay. So
Nice.
It's going well. So that's kind of been occupying my mind, my time.
Right on. Well, like I said, it's good to see you both.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into some Halloween talk real quick. Halloween is approaching, so I wanted to ask you both a few questions. First, is Halloween just a normal holiday to you guys or something special? You guys enjoy it?
I love Halloween.
Why so?
It's just a fun time. I could dress up, and I actually have kids, so now I don't feel odd about it.
About dressing up?
Yeah, and just walking around, but I love it. I love to dress up and go to parties. It's just, I don't know, it's fun to me.
Yeah, that last part about you can dress up with your kids and everything. It's like going trick-or-treating again.
It is.
But as an adult.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, it's fun.
Right.
I've done that with my kids. And I just love the whole season, not even just like the day. Just for like a lot of reasons.
Name a few.
The colors.
I remember more like the cultural history of it, and I love that it's just like a season where everybody just kind of embraces like the weird, scary shit, and
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
okay to be that way for like that month,
Mm-hmm.
And there's different ways of celebrating it, which I think are cool and outside of the norm that people aren't allowed to do in normal times.
Right,
So
right.
it's just a really fun season for me.
Right.
Plus, I'm addicted to pumpkin spice, so.
Are you?
Yes.
Well, I think we should mention real quick for everyone who can't see, but you are rocking a Friday the 13th T-shirt.
Yeah, thought it was fitting.
Absolutely, very fitting. But let me ask you both real quick. What do you both think the most popular candy is during the Halloween season? Angela, let's start with you. Kit Kats. What do you say, Travis?
You were setting me up here. You know I'm allergic to chocolate, damn it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
How can I be objective? I honestly have no idea due to that handicap.
Well, take a guess. Take any guess.
Guessing from what you get when you go trick-or-treating.
Oh, my memory's terrible. I don't know. Maybe Reese's. I don't know.
Oh, I wish there was more Reese's.
Yeah, actually, good job, Travis. You got it. It's Reese's Cups.
Really?
I
That's
don't.
the most.
I
Shit.
totally disagree with that statement.
Yeah.
I completely just because I'm always looking for the Reese's and there's never any.
Oh,
Kit
it's
Because the
Kats.
kids ate them already.
No, my kids don't eat them, so
Yeah.
I get them. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna get
okay.
like 3, 4.
The second is, you guys want to take a guess what the second was?
I'm getting a guess.
Because it was wrong. I mean,
Kit
that's wrong.
Snickers?
Twix bars.
No. Second is
Dum Dums.
M&M's. Oh, I'm sorry. Second is Skittles, and third is M&M's. So those are the top 3.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. What is the most popular costume to wear on Halloween? This is overall. Okay. Throughout the years, what's the most popular costume that people wear?
The popular thing at that time.
Yeah, whatever newest movie is.
Yeah, like there's gonna be a
Usually.
ton of She-Hulks walking around. You know, big green women.
But more so over time, because that's just
Well, that's the thing, though. That's what I think is always the most popular. It always evolves as like pop culture evolves. They're directly
I
linked.
see where you're going with
Okay.
this.
So there can't be one overall.
I'm gonna go with The Witch.
Okay. And Travis, you
That,
say
that
there
can't
can't
count
be.
because Scarlet Witch just came back, so of course there's going to be more witches. So come on.
Well, no. I mean, the question was like, what is the most popular costume to wear on Halloween?
Oh, so if there's
overall?
something that can also constantly evolve, actually would be a good guess. Yeah, I see
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Witch
Hocus Pocus
or-
2 came out. Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, so I was
I could
Hocus
definitely
Pocus,
see it.
one of the witches from Hocus Pocus.
My
a couple
daughter
years
was
ago.
too.
Which one?
Bette Midler.
I got you.
And so my friend had even texted me, and she was like, "Oh, do you still have that costume?" I'm like, "Maybe." So I think she wants to resurrect it this year.
It's fitting, like
Well, it's back,
Travis
yeah.
just said. Yeah, the second movie came out. Did either of you see it?
No.
No.
My kids saw it, but I did not.
No. Did they say they liked it, or you didn't ask?
Yeah, they said they liked it.
Cool.
Yeah, they didn't really go into detail, but they said they liked it.
Cool. All right. Well, the answer to that question was, what you had said, Angela, was a witch. Which costume is
I
the
conceded that.
most popular
was a good
overall?
point.
Now,
Throughout the time.
Because
yeah.
you actually adapted what
Steady,
I
yeah.
said into your argument, so that was smart. Because it's popular right now.
Yeah. All right.
Although I didn't know.
1 point to
there's,
you.
there's a movie out. I'm unaware of that movie. What's it called? Scarlet Witch?
The Scarlet Witch character from WandaVision and Doctor Strange, you know, she's known as the Scarlet Witch.
Let's
So,
check it
you know,
out.
it
The
leads,
superhero shit.
you know,
I'll watch it in the morning.
there was the Sabrina the Teenage Witch show not that long ago. So, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Melissa Joan Hart.
Well, I meant the new one.
Oh, shit. Did I just age myself?
You totally showed your age.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Let's move on then. All right. So, what is the most bought costume for kids this year? What do you guys think? Let's start with you this time, Travis.
I'm trying to think of what is the current popular thing. What do my kids play?
Take any guess.
I didn't even take my kids Halloween shopping yet.
I did, but my kids are weird and they picked out like a mishmash of stuff to make their own thing.
My
Nice.
kid
They're
wants to be
creative, very
Naruto.
creative. Okay.
Naruto?
yeah.
What the hell is that?
It's an anime show.
Oh, okay.
You're looking at me
It's an
like,
animated
what
show.
the hell
Yeah.
is she talking about?
I had no idea what that
Yeah.
was. Okay, so you
I
do.
say whatever, right?
I'll go with maybe a Stranger Things costume.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Stranger Things was big this year.
Yeah, I did see that was actually high on the list this year for costumes
Like I
overall.
expect to see a lot of Eddie Munsons walking around.
But for kids, it's actually Paw Patrol costumes.
Still?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
My kid was into that.
That
He
thing is
was,
still
like,
popular?
Yeah,
Sorry,
according-
Paw Patrol. I don't
Yeah.
mean any offense, but
Maybe they took, stepped it up a notch since we stopped watching it.
How long ago was that?
It sucked me right into an episode, too.
maybe that controversy where the people said they wanted to cancel the little puppy on the show because he was a cop. just made them be like,
Are
okay,
you-
we're done.
That's
Like,
right. I remember that.
Everybody was like, this is
Chase
not
is on the
enough. We're
case.
doing a kids show. We don't need this.
And there
just-
was a lot of memes. I stand with Chase.
Oh yeah.
it was,
remember that
That
now.
was so dumb.
All right. Well, let's move on to
Wait,
a few.
one more. I have a question.
Yeah.
They're in costumes of solidarity.
What are you going to be for Halloween this year?
I have not even thought about it yet.
What? It's
Yeah.
like 2 weeks away. What about you?
I had been thinking about what I was going to be this whole time. I take my kids out, and I just answered my own question when I said there's going to be a lot of Eddie Munsons walking around. I think I want to do an Eddie Munson costume.
I
That'd
had
be
a,
really
my,
cool.
My ex was Eddie Munster, and I.
No, Munson
Oh, Munster.
from Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, I'm like Eddie Munster.
Not
That's
Eddie
an old
Munster.
one.
Don't bring up. Never mind. No.
You're aging yourself now.
Hey, that honestly, that would still be current because the Rob Zombie Munsters movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
But I was saying Eddie Munson from Stranger Things. I led in with Stranger Things.
So
And he just pull his name out of nowhere.
good job.
Oh,
But what are you gonna be, Angela?
Well, I thought about being that witch from Hocus Pocus, but probably I got a costume. It's a ostrich, like a guy riding an ostrich. Inflatable.
Those
ostrich.
are great.
$3. So, and it works.
Right on.
My daughter wanted to be one of those big inflatable T-Rexes, but I didn't have the money for it this year.
Yeah.
So she made her own. Yeah.
For the last few years, our youngest, or my youngest, was he had that inflatable like sumo wrestler thing,
yeah.
and like he wore that shit for the last few years. But I think it
That's
popped
awesome.
last year. Yeah. But let's move on to a few, I guess, more personal questions. Not so much, but do either of you have any Halloween traditions that you guys do or that you partake with your family? Let's start with you, Angela.
The kids and I carved pumpkins, but that's pretty much the extent of it.
Okay, that's always a big part of
Yeah.
Halloween.
And I feel
Very
decorate, but
You like pumpkin seeds?
I do.
Yeah. Do you, Travis?
The seeds, no.
Okay.
I draw the line somewhere. I only like the innards. I'm sorry.
No, cheers, bro. What about you, Travis? Any traditions that you do with the family?
With the kids, we do pumpkin carving,
Mhm.
which is always fun. We take them trick-or-treating, of course.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And certain kids Halloween movies,
Mhm.
we watch.
Nice.
And then me and my wife do a horror movie marathon every year,
Interesting.
which we change up all the time. It was, at one point we were doing like themed weeks, and we did it like starting in September, and it would be like, so one week we would pick a theme, and we'd pick 3 movies to watch that fit that theme, and we would keep trying to change it up and make it more interesting.
Like, give me an example.
Like one week would be like Ghost Week, and we watched 3 ghost movies. One would be
Cool.
like clown movies, and we watched that. But then we'd get more in depth with the descriptions and the specifics.
It's a cool idea.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it was exhausting though. And at this point, we're just, hey, let's watch a horror movie, and we watch it.
All right, right on. Let's see. What's one Halloween memory that stands out to either of you individually, or, you know what I meant, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I fell one time when I was wearing a French maid costume, and I was meeting people for the first time. I'd gone to a party with a friend, and my hands were full, and my heel just kind of went under me, and I fell backwards with my feet in the air, and yeah,
Right on.
never forget that.
Good first impression.
Yeah, it was great.
Let me. Okay. What about you, Travis?
I have a lot, so I don't know how long you want this memory to be. If you want to get more specific.
I mean, give me one that you have that's, or just give me a quick summary.
All right. Well, one memory that I really do love from one Halloween was sorry. Me and my wife went to the WRV Boo Ball at the Civic Center.
Okay.
I don't remember the real name.
What was
the
that
new
though?
name?
Or what is it?
Oh, it's a big Halloween party hosted by
the
that
Blue
radio
Ball is
station.
great.
Okay.
I've never
Yeah.
been, but I always wanted to.
Yeah, everybody comes in costume. They play music, and there's contests and drinks, obviously, and stuff.
Right on.
It's really cool. And I had won tickets one year, and so me and my wife went, and we ended up getting her like a last minute costume, which was just like a dress and a wig she put together. And I went as Alex from A Clockwork Orange.
Mm-hmm.
If either of you know that, I can tell by your face. I think you've seen that movie.
I actually haven't. I've heard a lot about it. It's on a list, my list to watch some point. But I've heard some pretty weird, messed up things about that movie.
It's a classic.
Or book.
Both.
Yeah.
It's a classic movie that's very controversial to some. I think it's a masterpiece. It's made by Stanley Kubrick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Adapted from the book. I can't remember who wrote it. I feel bad about that as a writer.
You're good.
But yeah, I dressed up as him,
Cool.
and I got like good feedback on it, and it was just a really fun time.
Awesome. You know, when I was thinking about an answer for this question, I was trying to think back when I was young or like a child, right? And there's one particular memory that I have that that makes me laugh to this day, and it's where my childhood house was on a pretty busy street. And there weren't very many houses. They weren't right on top of each other. So there was some distance in between each one. And, you know, call it what you want. I was fortunate enough to have grown up right next to my grandparents. So they were technically my neighbors, right? So obviously no kids. And I'm talking about for Halloween time. So I grew up my entire life like never, ever, ever getting trick-or-treaters ever to come to the house, you know, which was, you always waited, you know what I'm saying, and thinking like, oh man, I'm gonna, you know, but nothing. But then I remember being being a young kid, and I remember one time, I don't know what was going on, but hearing the doorbell ring, and not, you know, at a time when the doorbell should not be ringing, you know what I'm saying? And then I just remember some kid there with his mother, and he was actually trick-or-treating, but it had caught my parents so off guard because we never had trick-or-treaters. It was like the scene from like Big Daddy when they go to that old dude or the older dude's house, and like he just starts giving them fucking CDs, fucking box of cereal, just dumb shit, like, because we were never, you're not used to ever getting trick-or-treaters. So I just remember them like in the pantry pulling out mad like whatever candy was there because they were so unprepared. Like there was like fruit roll-ups, just, you know. But that's one of my Halloween memories that I always remember. But real quick, let's talk. What is one of your guys' favorite Halloween themed movies? You guys got one?
Well, Halloween, the John Carpenter's not Halloween.
The original?
The original.
Classic.
Not,
Okay.
not this new crap that's out.
Mm-hmm.
That is my favorite horror movie of all time. And it's, you know, my favorite movie to watch around Halloween. That, you know.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that, or we had covered this a little last time you were on. Have you heard, I know that the new one just was released in theaters. Have you heard anything about it?
I have avoided spoilers so I could watch it for myself.
Okay, right on. What about you, Angela?
I actually don't think I have a favorite Halloween movie.
No? Charlie Brown? Hocus Pocus?
I didn't really like the Charlie Brown Halloween. It was
No,
kind of boring.
I don't like those.
It was like, boring to me. I try to get like my kids, and they're like, "This is boring." I'm like, "I know. I'm sorry. You don't have to watch it."
Okay, and I know you're not really into the whole horror genre.
not
So, have you ever seen the original Halloween movie?
That's the one with No.
Jamie Lee
God.
Curtis?
Yes.
But she's been in
that's the
every one.
Yeah,
though, so,
Michael Myers,
Yeah.
Like, what year was it?
1978.
But that was the year.
Well, I mean,
I was born in 86. I mean,
I was born in 78.
85.
But no, I've seen the originals, but since I live alone, I don't watch horror movies because it just freaks me out.
All right, right on.
my wife's like that, but I converted her.
Well, if I lived with somebody, it would be different.
Yeah.
All right, last Halloween themed question, I guess. If you guys had to choose one, candy or caramel apple? Angela. Candy.
I'll break your teeth.
Candy. I mean, there's other candies that aren't chocolate, so yeah, candy.
Candy
Would
apple?
I want a caramel apple? What?
Bro.
What?
Well,
A
I would-
caramel
You're
apple?
going with
Who
the
are
apple?
you?
I would take a caramel apple over a candy
What?
apple. Candy apple, that shit would
Oh,
break
wait,
your teeth
whoa.
and sticky.
Are you an old
I think
farmer,
I
like back in time? What? Caramel apple?
I misunderstood the question.
What the hell?
I thought you said candy or caramel apple.
Okay,
Isn't that what you said?
No,
Candy,
okay.
not a candy apple.
Candy apple or a caramel apple?
I don't want either.
Oh,
You gotta pick
the
one.
question was what apple?
Yeah. Which
What?
which apple would you choose?
We choose between candy or a caramel apple.
I'm like, who's gonna pick
What are
the
you,
apple?
high? Why would you say the caramel apple?
Why would you ask that question? No,
I
but
totally misunderstood that.
okay, so let me reword it real quick. And you have to choose one, right? So, candy apple or a caramel apple?
All right, I guess. Well, what exactly is a candy apple? Is that hard candy?
What is a
like,
candy apple?
You guys don't know what a
covered-
candy apple
Well,
is?
in my head, it's kind of like the caramel apple that they use candy, and doesn't that get hard as well?
Yeah, it's like a hard,
go
shiny
caramel.
shell shit.
Caramel.
Sounds like
It's
eating a
mad
rock.
sticky. How do you guys not know what a candy apple? You know what? Fuck that question.
What,
Let's
you
move
gonna eat
on.
a
You-
rock?
Yeah, okay. Let's get into this whole conspiracy cult.
I'm sorry I ruined it.
No, you good. Yeah, so now let's get into the whole conspiracy cult hoax kind of content that we were going to talk about.
right.
Now, I don't know. We'll have to decide what it is at the end. Okay, but before we start, I do want to state that all this info that I have was said by the man who shed light on this quote unquote game. It was an interview that he had, so these aren't my ideas. I knew nothing about this until I heard about it. All right, so none of it's my opinion. This was all this man's words. Okay, so I'm just putting that out there because, you know, every time we do an episode about some conspiracy topic, the most common response from people is always, you know, oh, that's all bullshit. You know, you believe anything, etc. So I'm just sharing what I heard. All right. It's not, I'm not saying that I'm neither here nor there. I'm just stating what I heard. Okay.
Agreed.
Because it was interesting. So with that being said, have either of you heard of the name Tim Chizmar?
No.
No, I have not.
No. Okay. Real quick before we continue, this whole story can get extremely unbelievable at times. Maybe that's why they call it a conspiracy. If you guys have any questions or are confused at any point, please jump in, ask questions. Maybe we can try to figure this out because it is a very mind-bending, mind-twisting story here. But this is all, like I said, from a man that claims to have been a part of this. But Tim Chizmar is a comedian. He's an author. He is a wrestle promoter. And he is claiming that currently there is an elite group in Hollywood that play a quote-unquote game that involves players and bettors, and he believes it could possibly be worldwide. Now, Tim says he's played this game for 2 years and was a star player. Now, what is this game? How's it work? It's made up of 3 sections, okay? And let me ask you guys real quick. You guys don't know anything about this whole thing yet? Like the story, you
I have no
never heard
idea
of
what
it?
you're talking
Okay.
about.
Okay. Yes. So, made up of 3 sections, okay? First is the house. All right. They're the ones who initially run the game. All right. They're the wealthy elite, the famous people in Hollywood, and they're in the entertainment business. Okay. They know every person involved and are very guarded and careful who they let in. Essentially, they're the ones that make the big money. All right. Then there's the bettors. These people are betting $50,000, $100,000 on storylines and characters that are being acted out by real people in real time. Now, the bettors know the storyline is fake, and they're trying to prove that through social media. All right?
In the game. Or is that like real life? Just a fire?
That
Social
is
media part.
the social media part. So that is part of the game. The bettors are betting. Hold on one sec. Because the third or the last part are the players. All right, and so basically they're the puppets. They're the ones that are creating the storylines. Okay, so the bettors are on the East Coast and the players are on the West Coast. Now, what was your question? I'm sorry, Angela.
You mentioned social media, so I was just wondering if that was in the game, or if that was like what's happening now. Like, I was confused.
I'm really lost. I'm sorry. I have no clue what you were talking about.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Okay, so
Are we all in a game? Is that what you're saying? Like we're players in a game and we don't know about it? Is this like the Truman Show versus like / Hunger Games?
no, people know. Like you're,
And they're
like,
just
we'll get
they're
into,
playing a game while we're living our boring lives.
So what happens? Like we'll talk about it more. But essentially,
I'm sorry.
Nah, you're good. It's essentially, I guess, what it is the bettors, all right, or the players. Players are, I mean, the rules. I explain the rules a little more, like as we get farther. So let me go a little farther, and if your question, Angela, is not answered, bring it up again, because
Okay.
I think once we explain a little more, it makes a little more sense. I was just trying to start out with just the 3 levels of the supposed game or who is involved. Okay, but I mean, do you guys follow so far? Or I know you said it was pretty damn confusing.
I mean, it's confusing, but I think so. So you have your your higher ups, people that run the game.
Mm-hmm.
You got your bettors who are betting on the players
Yes.
to do.
So essentially,
That's
like
where,
I said, we'll cover it.
you
But the
lost me.
players,
Yeah, what are they doing?
the players are they come up with their own storylines or their it's called a campaign, okay, and they try to say they're putting scenarios where the one example we'll cover it again, but essentially they post something online or they're contacted by someone and they're like, hey, we'll pay you X amount of money to put on your social media that you're being followed. Okay? So then you're being followed, people, but you got to understand that these players, they're not just normal people. Okay? They're all what it does is the game preys on young vulnerable people. All right? So let me just continue a little more and see if you guys can, if it makes
I think
more
I
sense.
see more where you're going, and I understand a lot better.
Okay. But so like how did Chizmar get into all this? So he was brought into the game by a man named Dave DeFalco. Have either of you heard of that name?
It sounds familiar, but I don't.
No, I haven't.
Not really.
Okay, he's a writer, producer. He made the movie Chaos. No?
No idea.
Yeah, which Robert Ebert called it the most brutal movie ever made.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I'm going to rush right out and watch it.
But Dave was Tim's sponsor, okay? Now, part of the rules of the game is if you are able to recruit people, you get money. And if the house likes their story that they're able to create, then both player and recruiter gets paid. All right? Now, Tim was never told or never met anyone higher than Dave, and it's designed that way to where you're only supposed to know who got you involved. You never know who the higher, where it goes. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it's designed that way. But when Tim asked Dave about how he got involved, Dave said he accidentally met the one who recruited him. He was in the entertainment business. His credentials lined up. Both people were at a level of the business that Dave respected, so there was no reason for him not to trust this person. All right? So you follow?
Yeah, I just have thoughts. I'm just
Okay.
letting you finish.
Okay. Well, like I said, the game preys on vulnerable people, right? So struggling artists, musicians, actors, models, And like I had mentioned before, the players are on the West Coast, okay, and the bettors are on the East Coast, and it's designed like that for a reason. But let's say, let me try to explain it a little or give an example. Let's say that you guys, one of you, move to LA. All right, you're trying to make money. You're an actor. All right, and you get a chance to audition for a role, all right? Someone comes to you and says, I'll pay you $500 to no-show the audition, all right? If you accept it, right, that's pretty much how they hook you in. You're a struggling artist. Let's say you're a musician. You're playing coffee shops, little side shows on the road, or on the side of the street. You're not making much money, right? Somebody approaches you and says, you know what? I'll give you $500, $300 to not show up for this gig. You know, that's a guaranteed cash right there. Or you can, you know, struggle.
What would that guy get out of him not doing the gig? What is the point of paying him to not do the gig? I don't get.
Yeah, what's the end game?
I don't understand the scenario.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know the end game yet, but I mean, I guess for them not to show up and do what they are trying to accomplish.
Why do they not want it to accomplish?
I
don't
know.
get why would someone do this. I don't.
Trying to see how much they can control them, and if they not do
But
it.
Pretty much.
What happens to the person they're controlling? They just one time get them to no show an audition. Like what you're saying?
It's pretty much.
You're saying hooking them and stuff. What happens to that person?
It's pretty much. I mean, you just made a quick,
You just made
easy
a quick
$500.
and then come at you the next time.
I'll
it's
come
1,000.
exactly. Well, hey, you got a gig now at this place. I'll pay you. Yeah, I'll pay you another $500 to no show. You're like I said, as a human in general, but you know, as a struggling artist, whatever you're trying to do, you can think like, damn, I can go through all this work, audition, do all this stuff, possibly not even make money. So how am I gonna live, or how am I gonna get through tomorrow? Or I got this dude offering me $5 just to not show up, or 500, excuse me, to not show up. But I'm gonna take the 500.
Or maybe
Are
they're
we-
like, oh, we could take the 500 now and then.
No,
that'll
I get
help me to-
I get the concepts, but are we discussing this because it's like as like a nefarious thing? Am I missing something?
Well, I mean, there's more. It gets a lot more in depth.
Because it just
So I'm
sounds
trying-
like I can either try this for audition or take $500, but then I can just go audition somewhere else.
You
I don't-
could, but when you're contacted again, you're only contacted by people. We'll get into it more.
What happens?
But everybody is interconnected. Okay, so let's say a famous musician knows. Let's say Willie Nelson. All right, I'm on social media. I'm Willie Nelson. I got mad pictures with, I don't know. Give me an actor. Christian Bale. All right, so like tons of pictures all over social media. Willie Nelson knows Christian Bale. Now all of a sudden you start seeing other pictures. Christian Bale's with another younger, maybe aspiring, like what we're talking about, an aspiring, young, vulnerable artist. You see a few pictures with them. So whoever they are, the house, they go after these young people, approach Christian Bale, say, go offer that person $500 to no show. Now, I already know Christian Bale, so I have no reason to not trust him. You know what I'm saying? And he's offering me $500 to not whatever. So, I mean, it's just basically like, are you willing to go for a quick pay? Pretty much.
Is this
so
a
far.
social experiment? I don't understand. Why is this like a secretive thing that no one's heard about? Like, it doesn't sound like it's a bad thing. Is it supposed to be a bad thing?
Enough. That's the
No,
thing.
is it supposed to be bad? Is that why it's secretive?
Well, it gets
Why
more.
why are there shadowy companies controlling what
There's
sounds like a
gonna be
social
more.
experiment?
It gets a lot
Yeah.
more
There's
deeper.
gotta be more to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. What's the end
Go
game?
on.
What does the company and all those different people get out of giving these people this money? Is it just a normal social
It's-
experiment where the person who's on the game doesn't, that they just get to be on something and that's it? Or
Well,
get
the
them
bottom
a
line, it
payoff?
shows
I don't-
the bottom line at the end. You'll see, like when we go over some of the things that this guy had to go through and did. You see that the people who are controlling this are sick people. They're willing to see some sick shit.
Oh,
and
well,
we're
you only
willing
just
to
said
pay.
the audition thing.
We're
Like,
will,
I don't.
well, I'm trying to use that as an example so you guys can follow
Well, I'm
what's
just
going
wondering,
on.
that just sounds like back end bookie stuff. Like I don't understand.
So,
Yeah,
like I
that's
said,
I'll pay you to throw the fight. Like.
that's how it starts.
Seeing
That's
how
you're
far they'll
contacted,
go.
yeah, and it's all for money.
It's a test.
So, but I mean, like I said, we'll get more into it. But let's,
No disrespect. I'm just not following.
No, you're good. Like I said, it's tough to follow. Trying to make sense of it all was very difficult. And like I said, this man just came out with this information. You know what I'm saying? Recently, there's no other. I haven't heard too much about this, so I'm basically just going off of what this man has said.
Yeah, I was
And
just
so-
looking for answers.
Yeah. So and I mean, I'm sure some of your questions I may not be able to answer, but we'll cover the rest of it. Let's go on break, and when we come back, we'll talk about how Tim played the game, the extreme things that he endured, and how he got out. So make sure you come back with us right here on the It's All Relative podcast.
Boom in the game now, shit's insane now. Explode next mode, I'm the same how. Don't say you know me, just say you did. When you see me sliding off to another crib. Boom in the game now, I'm the same how. The rap game will never be the same now. Don't say you know me, just say you did. When you hear Y.O, say that's that shit.
Welcome back to It's All Relative. Still with me in studio, Angela Galente
Hey.
and Travis Lake.
Okay.
So, a little more clarification off mic, right? Hopefully, we didn't confuse the listeners too much, but let's continue, and hopefully, we can.
He means these two guys had to tell me what the fuck it was so we could move on.
Clarity.
Okay.
Sorry for being an idiot, everybody.
Okay, you good. Bro. I mean, we may have confused some of the listeners too. Who knows? So, like I said, hopefully this will clear some things up. But so how did it start for Tim Chizmar? He says he was offered $300 to put a tweet out, simply creating a scenario or storyline. And the example that he gave was someone was following me, which then leads to him being kidnapped. Okay, Tim says he was down for anything, which helped him make more money. And soon he was making more doing this than if he were acting. So like I had said before, the quick, easy, fast cash, right? And it adds up quick. But now you make the most money by going dark. And what that essentially means is disappearing for 2 weeks off social media. Being careful, right? Or you got to be careful to not have your picture taken because the bettors are trying to prove that you haven't disappeared or been taken or whatever your storyline is. They're trying to disprove whatever you're trying to prove. But all the information is trying to be found through social media. And social media is all interconnected with the people involved. So an example was, a musician who knows an actor who's seen on social media through pictures and videos, etc., etc. So the longer your campaign or story goes, you make even more money. All right? So you guys still follow?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, once again, when you decide to go dark, you can't be seen or have your picture taken with any of your peers because the bettors are online searching social media trying to find you and disprove. So, Tim said that when you go dark, it affects your loved ones, your relationships, your career goals, because you can't go anywhere or have contact with anyone in fear that you'll be exposed, and then you won't get your money. Which makes sense, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I mentioned before, the longer you can keep your storyline going and the more extreme your content is, the more money you would get paid. And he goes on to say, you know, different things, but the house is basically into watching really weird, like, sick shit. Okay? Tim said that he decided to go dark for months. All right? And approached it as if he was like a method actor. So he wanted to make everything realistic as possible. So he starts by saying he was beat up, right? He shows or posts a picture of him lying in a hospital bed. Then for the next few months, he photoshops pictures of himself with black eyes. He posts pictures of his car, like full of bullet holes. So he goes to the extreme, you know, to make everything realistic. And in doing this, he's able to stretch his campaign out even longer. Then he goes on to send pictures of him being kidnapped, which then leads to being tortured. And this goes through months of photos. He sends himself, pictures of him being tied up, him being beaten. And during his interview, he talked about how he even flew his mother out to the West Coast and had her hand out flyers of him being like a missing person. And she was like out there on the beach passing out missing pictures or whatever. And, you know, asking like, you know, have you seen my son? He's missing.
That's dedication.
To make it super realistic, right? Which the ultimate goal is, I mean, to entertain the house, whoever the house is. And like you said, yeah, very realistic. I also mentioned earlier, Tim said he was down for anything because he wanted the money. And the house pays even more for hardcore content. So Tim talks about being tortured at a point. He wanted to make a video of him being tortured in a sex dungeon, and he was saying that he method acting. So he's actually partaking in doing this, taking and having it videoed. He gets bent over by a chick who then uses like a dildo to you know
Sodomize them.
Yes. And I guess when you do that, right, sometimes you can't control when you have to shit. And while this was happening,
this is going on a weird path.
Yeah.
It's going down a very weird path.
Hey, well, this is his storyline. But
how did we get here?
This is his storyline. But it was, you know, the video was recording, and he went to the bathroom or whatever. So they stopped the video, and I guess he talked about how he sent the video in, and the house saw it, but then they had heard about what had happened, and when they heard that he had done that, they were blown away. They were intrigued. They said that they'll pay even more to see content like that. Now, so that's pretty extreme, but making tons of money and some weird shit, right?
Yeah, I mean...
Thoughts?
Fucked up shit. Literally.
Why did you choose that example? Why did you have to paint it like immediately as, look at what these weird old perverts are gonna do?
Uh-huh.
But the dedication, like, just...
It was just a weird example.
It's mind-blowing.
Right?
Like, so why wouldn't they do worse things? Like,
I mean, everything escalates, right? You get comfortable with doing certain things, and then you
the more
do
you
more,
the
more,
money
and
you
then
get.
yeah. So Tim goes on to make videos of him being tortured and abused. He sends videos of himself getting peed on while he's kidnapped. He said he was like a method actor. So there were videos of him being forced to eat his own feces.
Ugh.
But it wasn't. He says it wasn't. It wasn't that. It was pudding, and he added corn in it.
I have a very important
to
question
make it
here,
so
and I'm
realistic.
sorry to interrupt, but how much money did this man end up making?
Yeah,
He was making $15,000 a month, no tax.
that's it. To
Bro.
your own shit.
Bro,
But I mean,
he got peed on
Can I ask?
and
Actually,
ate
the pee-
shit
the shit
for
was fake.
$1,500.
The shit was fake
It was
because, like I said, it was pudding and corn. And when he got peed on, it was more. I think he had said that it was somehow set up to make it look like it was, but it wasn't actually.
You gotta pay me more to show myself getting peed on.
But like, just the
Pee or lemonade? I need.
you'll always be remembered as the person that.
Yeah,
shit.
there goes pee face. That's
Whether
gonna
it was
walk down the
real or
road. Like,
fake.
come on.
But
That's not enough.
This
money.
I should also say too, though, that this has occurred. I mean, I think it comes up in a little bit, but this occurred a few years ago too.
Yeah.
Where you know what I'm saying?
But
Maybe
still.
inflation's so high, but and like I said,
Okay, what's his estimate?
he's a struggling. Like I said,
What are his benefits?
he was a struggling artist, and like that. Like I said, they attack the young, vulnerable people. $15,000 a month, or trying to make pocket change. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some people are, like we said, sluts for the money.
I dig his dedication, though, for sure.
Yeah, and he made it real
goddamn,
because,
man.
like, the more realistic, the more the house liked, the more money he makes, the more money everybody makes.
Yeah, he
So-
should he should be paid more.
Hey, well.
So how long did he go?
So, like I said, he was making
Do they
15.
have a union?
No, he was making $15,000 a
We need
month,
to
no
organize
tax,
workers' rights.
while doing this. But after a few years, he had too much. He started to stop pitching ideas because ultimately it took over, his whole life. Like said he would sleep all day, and then in the evenings be up all night trying to film things, trying to come up with ideas, trying to, and it messed him up, especially with some of the stuff that he was doing and the content that he was filming.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely see the dangers in doing something like that.
Right. And, with him, when he decided to stop pitching ideas and whatnot, the house lost interest in him and his storyline. And basically his campaign just kind of halted to an end. He had a breakdown and left LA. And he said 2016 was the last time that Tim had contact with them. And Dave, who was Tim's sponsor, has gone 5 years with no contact. So about 16, 17. 6 years. And now he's kind of talking about this. So this is the first time we've really heard about this. But Tim says that he's not too concerned when sharing all this because he says there are many who want to, but just can't. So, he's willing to share all this, as crazy as it makes him sound. He did mention now that he's played and been a part of this, he's able, or claims that he's able to spot certain behavior or how people act on social media, and then he can know or has a good idea that these people are involved in the game. He says, an example was people who leave very cryptic messages on their social media and then disappear for a lengthy part of time. And then he did also talk about a time where he was on Facebook and whatnot, and he ended up blocking somebody, and then his sponsor had gotten in touch with him and told him that the higher-ups, whoever who was trying to spy on him, try to friend request him so he could get information, got a kick out of the fact that he had blocked him. He had no idea that he was part of, it was just a random guy. You know what I'm saying? So, he did share, and I'm referring to Tim, he did share a story about an individual that he personally knew, a man who was playing the game. He was a stunt coordinator, a bodybuilder, and he made an agreement with the house. He took the money, and then he decided to go to Vegas. He blew the money and was spotted, on social media, somebody's social media taking a video like, hey, Vegas, blah, you know what I'm saying? He was spotted and then told if the money wasn't returned, that the house, whoever the house, whatever, they were going to break his legs. And I guess they had scared this man so much that the guy, he didn't have the money, but he ended up begging his sister for the money, and she gave it to him, but I guess it ended up, that money was her kid's college fund. But the guy was so scared, you know what I'm saying, that or knew that he was really going to get his legs broken, that
he took that money.
Yeah.
Shit.
So, what else? Tim said that his biggest fear is wondering, who's holding all these pictures and videos and where they are. So, to this day, he's never been able to find or see them anywhere. And, when I heard that or whatnot, I did think about that too, because that is very, very good question. And kind of makes you feel a little weird, right? Like all these things that you did and filmed and had done to yourself, and somebody out there has got them saved. Could it be used for bribery or extortion in the future? He doesn't know, but it's a good possibility. He also claims that the game is still happening present day. He says, they're still searching for those vulnerable artists. And, they're out there offering the young actor money to no-show the audition, or the band to no-show the gig. Tim says people stop playing the game, but they realize, I've wasted career opportunities, ruined potential relationships, and have no money. So they're willing to continue to play and do more extreme campaigns. So pretty much, what are your guys' reactions and thoughts about this so-called Hollywood game? Conspiracy, run by a cult, or is this dude making this shit up? Could it all be fake?
It could be fake, but I don't know.
But what do you
very
think?
Feasible. I think it's probably true.
What about you, Chad?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Now that I understand how the game works, and I'm sorry about that.
You're good.
I got past that. I can definitely get behind the idea of like a, wealthy, shadowy elite cabal, whatever. Playing some weird game because, they're rich and they're bored and they're soulless. And so I can believe in the possibility that this could be true, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm only open to the possibility. You have to prove. I would need further proof to actually totally believe in what you're saying. And I know you're just, saying what you know.
Mm-hmm.
To actually say, yeah, I believe that. I'm open to the possibility. I'm open-minded. I'm willing to listen. But, yeah, I need proof.
Right. Basically, we have to go off of what this man is claiming.
The proof is in the pudding.
For me, I don't know. I think I mean, I'm more, like I said, my conspiracy mind and everything, I'm more inclined to always believe. You know what I'm saying? I think that art imitates life, or life imitates art, what have you. But what's the fine line between the two? I think, though, like, that it's very possible. And I believe that, I believe that having too much money, you can get bored.
Very bored.
And this could be the result of it. I'm so bored that I'm willing
let's
to...
not give it away to people who need it. Let's play a weird, stupid fucking game for no reason.
Hey, I mean, similar to, like we had mentioned offline, but like the whole Squid Games thing, or like also the 97 Michael Douglas movie, The Game, with similarities. But, I mean, I guess that's what's always exhilarating about conspiracies, right? The question of what if, or can it be possible? I think it was very fitting for the three of us to discuss this because, like we had said, I myself am more of a believer on things when it comes to this. Angela, you're more of the middle.
Yeah, some I believe, some I don't. I don't know. I'm in between.
And Travis is more on the lines of...
I'm the skeptic.
Yeah. But like...
I'm the Scully.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good reference, bro.
Yeah.
X-Files shout out. But I don't know. I mean, you guys got any last thoughts? Anything else you want to say about this?
I think it's one of the more boring games of the elite. I don't know. It seems... I don't know.
It like
How so?
It doesn't seem that bad, honestly. I can definitely see how it sucks when you lose and the game's over for you. Now you have... What do you do now? Do you just reveal to everybody, hey guys, I was lying, and then what?
Well,
Everybody knows you're an asshole, and you have no life anymore. So what do you do after that point? So yeah, I could understand
so
that.
What's Tim doing now?
And I
You
could...
know?
He's trying to get his life back.
Like,
That's what Tim's doing now.
Yeah, no, I know that he now currently lives in Vegas. He's written a few books. I think since this has happened, or since he's stopped playing the game, he says, I believe it's been 3 books. And, he says he doesn't, I believe he had said, like, he doesn't regret, like, what he did, but, it messed him up a little.
did he say how he made, what it was, $15,000 a month?
It was 1,500.
15...
No, it was 15,000.
No, he said 1,500. I was like, bro, go work at like Walmart.
15 grand.
Yeah,
I thought you said 1,500. Oh my god, I've been under this whole thinking, yo, this guy is doing this for way too. This guy is he?
Come on,
is
bro.
he on minimum wage? Like,
Yeah.
there's other things you can do, man.
So,
like
15
grand.
15
Okay, I get it more.
15 grand, and for 2 years. Do the
Yeah.
math.
Okay.
So you talking? What,
I understand. With the
almost
chance
half
to
a million?
renew,
Tax-free.
Tax free.
So here's my question.
I get it a lot more now.
So now he came out.
I was like, that
right?
sucks.
He came out,
Yeah.
but doesn't the government be like, well, that's $15,000 a month for 2 years. This mother owes taxes on.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, this was just dropped. This whole story. He had this interview.
That's why I was wondering if there was a contract.
I think it's been less than a week. So that's why I wanted to jump on this and talk about it too, because it's fresh. I don't think too many people know about it. It's the first time it's kind of being exposed or talked about. So, like I said, I mean, there's a good possibility it could all be bullshit. But to me, like I said, most ideas, most concepts, most things, I mean, they're all portrayed through movies, through television, through whatever, and it's all based off of some form of truth, always. And like I said, I could definitely see some rich, bored people.
Yeah, now
That
that I
get
fully
enter-
understand it,
that
yeah,
get
I can definitely believe
entertained.
in this.
Entertained by a vulnerable person doing some crazy stuff on video.
Yeah, how far can we push these people, you know?
Yeah. But, I
So
mean,
would you do it? 15 grand a month?
would I play the game? Probably not. Would you?
I don't know, probably not, but
What about you, Travis? Would you play the game?
I would definitely consider it.
No, I have a family.
Yeah. If I was younger, for sure, but
He did mention too, I think in the interview, that's actually a good point, that I believe that the house, that when the people choose the people that they're gonna try to entice, they're like I said, they're very careful, they're very smart. They do their homework.
Oh, I'm sure
know-
they probably have a psychiatric review.
Yeah, they know
a medical
who,
history.
who they're gonna go after, and you can't really go after a married or someone who's got a significant other or kids or whatnot, because
they
these
have
peop-
something to live for.
and these people are gonna be like, if you go missing or if you disappear for, your wife is gonna fucking flip out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, how can you? So it's a lot easier. Let me get these young, vulnerable people, single people. Ain't nobody gonna. They've moved away from wherever they live, so their parents are in other states. They come to California.
And
or
there are a
LA.
lot
I'm
of
saying-
single, miserable people who they could, if this is true, could definitely prey upon. And if that's what they're doing, that's horrible.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like I said, too, the guy who, Tim Chizmar, he's not just like some random nobody that nobody's really heard of. So he does have a solid, I guess, background, credentials and whatnot of somebody that maybe you could believe. Who knows? Maybe we'll hear about this, more of this, in the future and whatnot. But we're gonna wrap this up here shortly. Anything else?
I think I'm good. Crazy game.
Crazy game.
It's definitely interesting, and it's giving me some ideas.
Right on. But I want to thank you both for coming back on and being part of this episode. Let me start with you, Travis. Is there anything or anyone that you want to shout out or plug?
Nothing to plug, but I would just like to give a shout out to my daughter,
Right on. What's her name?
Hope.
Shout out Hope. Angela, anything or anyone you want to shout out or plug?
Shout out to, I guess, my kiddios. Just because.
Names?
Johnny and Carly.
Shout out. What are you guys' social media, Travis? Social media.
I'm on Facebook, and Twitter, which is at Villain Lake. Facebook is Travis Lake.
Right on. Angela?
Instagram is randomange78.
All right. And you guys can always find me at Josh_Toth3. That's my Instagram. My Facebook is Joshua Toth. Big shout out to Stellar Sound and Media and our editor, Jackson Wallace. Quick reminder, you guys can find us on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, Google, and Twitter. And that is at @IAR Podcast. Also, if you've liked what you've heard, please leave a rating and a quick review. And don't forget to subscribe. That way you'll never miss an episode when they drop. All right, that's a wrap. Angela, Travis, thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, thanks. It was great.
Always. All right, everyone, stay safe, stay kind, stay proud and powerful, and we'll see everyone soon. Peace.